A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. Here I can pick on to the energy of someone who's representing many people in the collective. You feel tired to the point of exhaustion because there is a certain cycle that keeps repeating in your life over and over and over again. And now you feel that you're done with that cycle, which means that it could be anything, by the way. It could be financial instability. It always looks like now it will not come back. The problem, the instability, or the issue, or the delay, or whatever, you know. And you always feel like now it's sorted. Finally, I can take a deep breath. Finally, I can live my life the way I was living before all of this started, but comes back again. This could also be in the case of relationship where you feel that now the relationship issue is gonna be sorted. Now the fight's not gonna happen or the misunderstanding's not gonna happen. But again, it comes back. And I'm just giving two examples. There could be a number of examples, and you, whosoever resonates with this type of cycle repeating, the pattern or the loop repeating, you can mention in the comment section what exactly your cycle is. And now it's like you have reached to the point where you cannot deal with this anymore. You don't want to be into this cycle or this loop anymore. But you're not a person who gives up. You're not a person who's going to be like, oh, I cannot deal with it. So what? I'm going to degrade my lifestyle or I'm going to make the compromises that I should not make. No. I'll give you one more example. It could be you have this feeling that you are existing in survival mode when it comes to your lifestyle. Like you're constantly scared about paying bills or you're constantly scared about dealing with certain type of people. Every time you think that a certain uh, group of people is not going to bother you anymore or they're done with their trickeries or they're done with their games, they come up with something again. So there has to be something which has to be done. A solution, a fixed, a permanent solution has to be brought into the picture so that this cycle is closed forever and you can move on to something better, doing something new, something different. So, whosoever I'm channeling, you're a wonderful person. You're very selfless. You're very loving. You care for everyone around you. You are a good person. And maybe this is also a reason why you get upset sometimes. That why is this happening to me when I'm so good? And I'm godly and I'm good and I'm not a greedy, selfish, evil person. Whereas all these other evil influences or evil people you see, they are doing fine. They don't go through these cycles. Why me? It's not about good and bad. You could be a really, 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 really saintly person. But if you have a certain type of fear or a certain type of program that runs in your mind, like a tape recorder, over and over again, and you don't know it, you're subconsciously thinking about it. And sometimes you could be thinking, but you could be listening to a certain voice and you could be agreeing with it. The voice could be telling you, you're not going to pay bills on time again. Or it could be an event. I know this for a fact. It works with a lot of people because I have healed this in many therapy sessions and it works like magic. And I'm just giving it out to you guys because I know whosoever resonates with this video, this transmission, whether it's now, whether it's 10 years later, or 2 years later, or 10 days later, whenever. You're a good person, you're a godly person. Whenever you understand this, you're going to do good for other people, you're going to help other people. But first you need to help your own self. Yes, if you need hand holding, if you feel like I can take some help from this lady here, you can do that. But why don't you try it out yourself? All credit goes to masters and source. We share some good things, good karma, good things always come around, come back to us in some way or the other. This also was given to me today when I received this download, that the reason why you're getting this help is because your intention was always to help other people. You were doing good, so good's gonna come back to you in some way, shape, or form. It may not come back to you from the same person, it may not come back from the person, it may not. I'm saying in some cases, you could have helped someone like so deeply, you would have helped them out, stood by their side, fought for them, taken bullets for them, but they can't even say one thank you to you. They can't be around. They still play mind games with you. They still want to be the boss of the boss, someone who's protected them, someone who saved their ass from getting burned. They try to put that person in problems. But just because they didn't say thank you to you, or they didn't understand your kind gesture, maybe you also had your own reasons. But I'm telling you, your reason was always to help someone. You felt somebody needed you in that situation. If not them directly, someone else who was connected to this person. They didn't say thank you to you, they didn't um, show any gratitude. It's okay. God knows what you did. And if you did it selflessly and you feel like, yeah, I did it selflessly, fine, they didn't say thank you to me. It does hurt me because it's not about the thank you. What hurts you when you do this self talk, what hurts you, what hurts this me is like, why they do bad to me then? Why they treat me like trash then? They cannot say thank you, all right. They cannot do anything else, all right. But why treat me like a trashy person? So this also could have been some kind of event, I was told. It's probably been playing in your mind over and over and over again. And this could also be connected to this cycle. And you would be like mind boggled to know how much something can have an impact on something else. An argument that's playing in your mind over and over again could be connected with your financial instability. And you would be shocked to know that how is that connected with this. Well, maybe that thing is making you feel unworthy, and it makes you tired and you feel fatigued and you get disorganized or disoriented, and you're not able to attract the fortune that you're supposed to attract. Or maybe you gave the other person your time, your energy, your counseling and whatnot, and they didn't say thank you to you, and it broke your heart. And you're like, good people never get anything good in return. And then that plays like a mantra in your head. So you're a good person, you're a godly person. I can pick onto your energy. You can bring a smile on people's faces. And if someone is nice to you, you're very nice to that person. This whole situation, this cycle could also be to tell you or teach you very high level of discernment, because sometimes we are here to be givers, but sometimes giving silence could also mean giving love to some people, because they're playing this game with you. But that thank you, but that love, that appreciation is going to come to you, maybe if not from this person, from someone else. That's also the message that came with this collective reading. They may not know it, but someone else knows it, and someone else is going to make that effort to give it to you. And that's how universe plays. And my transmission, I'm a medium. I could be sent here when this window of opportunity that got created in the right perfect divine timing, where you're gonna If you're watching it and you resonate with it, this could also be God's way of telling you that, look, I am watching out for you, and I'm sending you this message so that you can work on yourself and figure it out. Whatever is that event, or whatever is that negative feeling, or that mantra, or that subconscious program, you can turn it around. Okay? So let me just break it down for you, that feeling, and please mark yourself present. Please claim this energy. And also, I don't need to say please, I know that, but just saying it, if you want to make good use of it, then I'm sure you will claim this. And also make sure you put down your location. There could be people you've been comfortable with who bring out that side of yours which probably got hurt or went into hiding in order to protect yourself. You feel that some people's negativity, negative focus, evil eye, manipulation, some kind of mental mantra, mental mind games they played. I shared another collective reading about how some people have casted black spells on you, due to which you're not able to do uh, well in life, or you feel very stagnant and stuck. This is like the part two of that. Like, this can help you even more, because the whole idea is taking away that power from them. You don't have to give that power to anyone else to create all these disturbances in your life, because you don't deserve to go through it. You don't deserve to go through it. Simple. So I'm being shown that there was a time when you were thriving, and you probably helped these people out, or you did something nice for them, or you got into some kind of situation, a negative situation, after which you felt that you either felt burnt out or you wanted to take a break. And now you feel that there are days or there are times maybe when you're able to just do the bare minimum, just get whatever is required. After that, you shut down again and you're like, okay, I don't want to do more than this. And then when you again have those needs or have those requirements, then you start bringing up yourself out again to sort things out. You could also be avoiding some people, some things. You could be feeling a certain way. And I can also pick on to the energy of a person who from outside could come across as very enduring. And this is to help you figure out who could be the one, because this is what came to me in the reading. Now you have to figure out, because this is not to create hatred or negativity. This is to heal that relationship and heal that situation and heal you, most importantly, so that you no longer get impacted by whosoever it is, more than one or one person, and you can continue to live your life without thinking about these people or this event or situation, whatever it is, that could be subconsciously creating this feeling of resetting again and again. So I'm being shown that it could be an enduring person, maybe someone from your close circle, but now you feel that this person is not your true well wisher. You feel huge energy loss. You feel very depleted while they have been thriving upon your advice. So either you help them out, or you advise them, or you counsel them, or you just did something for them. You just solved like a big problem of theirs. You took it on you, upon you, that you have to do something about it. You're very happy for this person. When you see them thriving and independent and all of that, you're happy also. It's not like you're upset. But neither they gave you any credit or any thank you for all the fight you put up for them, for being someone who was their fury protector or helper. But on the contrary, because you were above them when you helped this person, now you've become dependent on the same person, or you feel like somehow they understand this energy of you being dependent on them in some way. but they are not there for you the way you were there for them, and that hurts you a lot. You also feel that in many ways you were better than this person. uh, so basically what I'm being shown is a very very interesting scene actually, that there is a river, okay, and a person is in the middle of the river, and you're somewhere nearby. You can look at this person. So this is where the water is, and this person is flapping their hands, and they are like pretending like, or they are saying, I need help, please get me out from here. And actually they're not drowning. They could be standing, their feet is touching the ground, they can easily stand till here, but the ripples of the water or the waves or the distance, it creates an illusion that they could be drowning and they need your help. So you jump into the water, and there is this deep like portion in between, which has either strong current. You're a good swimmer, of course you're a very good swimmer, you can swim really well, you know how to swim in the deep and all of that is there, but that current or that part is so tiring. So like it's a difficult lap, but you're taking that lap to go to this person. Now you want to rescue this person. Finally you figure out, after you reach to that person, that they don't need help, as much help as they were pretending to ask for. They could even tell you things like, I've been here too long, I was just feeling lonely, or I wanted to make some new friends, or I just wanted to see if you can come till here, or I was not even asking for help, I was just having a good time, I was just flapping my hands up and down, and you from a distance thought that I need help. Or it's all gaslighting, by the way, it's not real. There is a certain amount of distrust you have with this person now. You cannot trust them. Like, if they really want you around now, they have to do a lot to get your attention. You've reached to that point, and maybe this one person could be actually representing many others like that in your life, where they don't really have much trouble, but they cry a lot, they crib a lot, where they could be little bit of trouble, but they blow it out of proportion. Or it could be a covert narcissist who wants to like get help for every small little thing, everything they do. They sneeze, they go to the washroom, they're eating food, everything they need attention for. And the crazy part of all this is you always thought that they don't have that many people or they don't have that much support, but actually they have a lot more support than you thought or you knew they didn't have. They have a lot more support. They are really good with making friends, having a social life. So when you actually swim to that side where they were just flapping their hands, you realize that there is like one section, there's one corner where they have this beautiful island, and there are lots and lots of things in that island. It's not a bad place they're in, basically, overall. And so you're wondering now, why were you so sympathetic towards this person? Or why did they even pretend to be in the situation they pretended to be in? Who's crazy here, actually? Who's the who's the manipulator here? And why? Why all of this? For what reason? It could be possible that you do have this really charming personality. As I said, you're a wonderful person, you're very charming, plus, you're a giver, And it could be possible that they thought the only way I can get attention from this person is by telling them that I am in a very bad situation. Look, I really need your help. I want to be rescued. This could also be a relationship. Absolutely. Where you got into the relationship only because the other person told you that they're in a very bad place, or they have a very bad mother or a father, and you could have actually gone through narcissistic abuse in your life or a lot of societal pressure, and you thought that, oh my god, poor person. As I said a while back, this collective reading, this transmission is literally all about a really, 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 really high level of discernment, which comes from a very sharp, razor sharp subconscious pattern of thinking. Like when your mind, when you actually, mind is the tool, when you're so amazing with your attention, when your attention is so point blank, where you know about every single thing, you're so aware, that is the level God is taking you to. And I want to share this very interesting thing. Everybody keeps asking me, I want to be in high frequency, I want to be in high frequency. Everybody wants to be in higher frequency. Who wants to be in low frequency? But a lot of people don't know what is the meaning of high frequency. And why do I keep saying meditate? The reason why I say to people, practice focused attention, sit still every day, or chant the solar plexus mantra. Solar plexus mantra can really help you with these things. It can change your life. It's magic, guys. It's magic. It's the biggest magic. It's like an open secret. And I know that you're very, very blessed and lucky when you figure it out. Like it's actually given to people, it's given to chosen ones. And I know the twin flame community can thrive with this gift and this mantra, this magic mantra. Such a small, short, simple mantra, Ram. That's it. All you have to say is Ram. There are no foundations. You don't have to be in a certain way, like with a lot of rituals also that people perform, or a lot of pujas that people do, a lot of even in the west people do it. You have to take care of small little everything. This mistake cannot happen, that mistake cannot happen. You cannot upset certain deities. But with this mantra, you could be walking, talking, eating. You could even be in the washroom. You can even say it incorrectly. You can say the opposite of Ram also, which Valmiki did, which Ratnakar did and became Valmiki. It's that magical. It's warm water. And it's raining outside, guys. Early in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, I am all set for the day. It's all because of this mantra. So, guys, when you have this razor sharp kind of attention, you get like a high level of discernment. And these type of people that I'm being shown here, they actually need the taste of their own medicine. That's how they learn to respect who you are. Because first they see you, oh, this really cool person. Then they want to compete with you. First they'll cry in front of you. They'll get your attention. They'll get your love, support, companionship, everything. Then they'll be like, I'm better than this person. Then they get this competitive streak. They learn from you. They're basically your students. Okay, you're their monad. Whether it's twin flame or whether it's friendship or whatever, you are teaching them how to be happy, how to get things done. But they usually do it for the very 3D things. And you become like poorer hanging out with them, talking to them, sharing with them, because they never nice. It's like they never do it 100%. They can give you 100% love the way you gave probably 1,000. They know that they can hug you, they know that they can hold you, they know there are times when they should be with you, but they usually with you when you're really in a horrible situation. That's the only time when they're with you. because that kind of massages their ego also. Like, look, this person, I was dependent on this person, or this person did all this for me. Today, this really amazing person is in such a bad shape. It's like, I know you would feel like very angry listening to all this towards that person, but no, that is the trick. Because if you're gonna get angry, if you're not gonna let them go from your mind, that's how they are thriving and you're in survival mode. That's the trick. That is what they do. Not just with you, they've been doing it for a lot of people, with a lot of people. And this is the reason why they have so many friends. They always have people around them. Always. But when you met them initially, they must have projected this energy or this aura or this reality where they don't have anyone, nobody understands them. And suddenly you see that they're always having get togethers and parties and socially they are so active. While you're not a fake person, okay? Whosoever's energy I'm picking on, you, if you say I don't have that many friends, you actually don't. If you say, yeah, I like to spend my time all by myself, you actually do. If you say, yeah, I'm a hermit and I like my solitude, yes, you do. You don't say these things to get sympathy or to get other people to be in your physical periphery, the space around you. You don't do all of that for sympathy, for, oh, poor you are all alone. No, you love who you are. But these people, they say these things to get your attention. And then you realize, oh my God, they're absolutely lying. Big time liars. They got like hundreds and hundreds of people around them. I'm speaking symbolically. They have some people to take care of them, they have some people to look after them. They may not even be financially working or anything, but their needs are always met. They're always sorted. Now, you're not a freeloader. You like to do your things. You're independent and you love to do for yourself. You like to take care of yourself. Whosoever I'm channeling, you're a very high vibrational person. So, such a high vibrational person with such a pure, good heart, why you're in this situation? Why are you facing this stagnancy right now? I saw this really nice video today, and I think that perfectly matches with this situation. So, someone was actually talking about a frozen river, and it was also another video that just came on my feed. There's this lady talking about a frozen lake, and she was saying it's winter's time and the lake is frozen and blah blah blah. But when you go towards the sort of an ending point from where the river goes down and there are these huge rocks, you can see that though from the top the river was frozen, but beneath all of that frozen water, and it looks still. In the video also you can see the water looks absolutely still because of the ice. But at that point, at that juncture, there's water flowing. Everything is working fine. Everything is like the river is doing its job, which is to flow. Even the fish or the other beings who live in water, even in cold water, they're all doing fine. And that's to say that it may look from outside that your life is a bit stagnant, you're stuck in the cycles, but God is still doing its work. The work is still going on because you got faith. And one of the biggest example is right now you're watching this type of content that's here to tell you that do not worry, this is just to teach you discernment, and it is to let you know the inner workings of the mind. This is what you're here to do actually. What else are we here to do on this planet? Of course you can create stuff for yourself, you've always done that, but there's an illusion. It's to create fear in your mind. It's to give you also this practical, sort of experimental kind of knowledge that look, it's true. Wherever your focus goes, that thing grows. You have been focusing on what These people have made you believe or made you think. They've made you believe you're not good enough by just simply behaving in a certain way. Like when you say something to them, they don't listen fully. When you're talking to them about something important, they don't acknowledge you. When you tell them anything, they say, yeah, 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 this happens to me also all the time. You talk about anything, good or bad, they'll say, oh, yeah, 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 it happened to me also. Or they'll come up with some story and they'll try to tell you that, yeah, 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 I went through this. These people are pathetic listeners, pathetic acknowledgers, pathetic at giving any emotional support to you. I don't know about others, but to you at least they're like that. Now you don't have to be angry at them. You have to understand that it's not a secure person. It's not an emotionally secure person. Why do they have to compete with a person who is so loving and kind towards them? It's their stupidity. They can do so much amazing stuff with you, but you don't have to do it with them because now you just have to think about it. Because as soon as you cross over from this kind of energy, as soon as you figure it out that you don't have to think about them, you don't have to focus on them, you don't have to you don't have to believe in whatever nonsense they feed into your mind, even by their body language or behavior or their ways of treating you. Just cut the cord, just cut the cord. So via this channeling, you have to think of the time when you counseled them, stood by them, advised them, you were extremely protective towards them. But in your bad times, which actually happened because of them, this person is nowhere to be seen. They are very judgmental of you. They could be backbiting. They create more problems constantly only for you. They make people turn against you. All of those things they do. And then at the end of the day, they are this sweet, innocent, gullible person. If you say anything to them, they say, oh, you know what? I'm so scared of these things. Oh, I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what to do. And when you actually depend on them, they'll give you silent treatment or whatever, neglect, blah blah blah. This is a typical narcissistic pattern that you're supposed to heal. Now you're supposed to get out of it. I'm also being shown that they could have also disrespected you and misunderstood you. They'll always say that they misunderstood you, but actually they were disrespecting you. And later on, they said, oh, I misunderstood the whole situation. So it's about time you cut your cord with this person. Now, one more thing is they're very humble, they're gentle, they're smiling, they're soft spoken. So even if you go and shout at them, even if you show them this kind of aggressive reaction to them, they're not going to react in the same way. They're not going to respond in the same way. They might just be like, oh, I didn't know you were so hurt, or something weird. Like it has already happened in the past, I feel. So now you're not going to do the same thing again. You're not going to react in the same way again. That's how you change. So in life, there's something which we all need to figure out sooner or later if you want to thrive and not just survive. So we have the cause, and the cause has effect. Okay. Now, what are people working on? And how do we change this this cause creating a certain effect? Think about it. I'm not going to give you the answer. I know you guys know it already. Some of you would know it already. A lot of the stuff you know it already, but you just need to rebrush it. You just need to revisit it. Okay. So, with this person also, you simply need to stop reacting to them. You need to stop giving them mental space. You need to stop thinking about things they put you through or the way they misunderstand you or say that they misunderstand you. I'm also being shown that some of them have either children or pets. This is an important point. Or something that they always push towards others. So if you get really upset with them, they'll say, oh, you know what, your niece is missing you, your nephew is missing you, or somebody like a pet, they want to see you if you don't want to see them. This is just an example, okay, guys? You can think about these things. They always have a bait to bring you back into their drama. This time, if you go back into their drama, I knew this person, I still know this person, of course. This person would very conveniently use metaphysical or godly terms. Like if they would make a mistake, or if you would call them out for their bad behavior, they would say, oh, I'm not doing anything, everything's happening on its own, or God is doing everything, we're just puppets in the hands of God. Like they would always come up with stuff from Bhagavad Gita, or they would always say something really esoteric in the moments where you say, like, you did wrong to me, and they would say, I'm not doing anything wrong to you. Or they could very conveniently throw back some of the things that you have taught them or you've said to them, like, we don't have any control. You know, it sounds like ultimate level of gaslighting in that moment, but that's it, that's your clue. When you come across them not taking any responsibility of their bad behavior, and then using some of these esoteric metaphysical terms which are actually true, like for example, if you say, how could you leave me alone in a situation like that, how could you put me in such a lonely phase, for example, they'll say, aren't we all born alone? Aren't we all supposed to die alone? Aren't we all travelers? Now, you could have taught this to them in their time of grief or sadness, or just to bring them out sometime. But it's insane how they'll use it for gaslighting you or for not owning up to their mistakes. So, you got to say it to them too, or you got to use it in your benefit, for your growth. You have to actually remind yourself that this is true. Everything is happening because of God. So I knew this person who would always put things on God. I'm not doing it, God's doing it. That's what God's want. This is what God's wish is. It's all divine timing. And so you would be like, oh my God. Sometimes, like, you're getting like angry or mad or upset at such a person. Even in that time, they would say, didn't you tell me that anger is not good? Anger is bad for health. So it's like perfect type of passive aggression, use of, these type of statements. In my opinion, this can actually be a clue, and you can smile back at that person and say, yeah, you're right. God is the doer, I'm not, or neither are you. And when you start to detach from this person, or when you don't want to have that stupid conversation with them, like reminding them that, didn't I tell you this like 6 months back, or didn't I spend so much time counseling you about something, something that would help you health wise or emotionally or mentally or financially? And now either they are preaching it to others or they're preaching it back to you. This is also to let you know that you are the one who helped other people break free from their cycles, or you're the one who has helped other people. You're the one who has in the past also healed many situations. You can do it again, because the fact is that all this stagnancy, all this frustration is also divine timing. If everything is happening via divine timing, you got to believe that this is that frozen lake that looks only frozen from the surface level or from a distance, but actually everything is working perfectly fine. So, these people, if not people, the events or the situation, whatever is draining you, a business idea or a job idea or a project, anything. It could be anything. It could be people, place, situation. If it's a previous memory, a negative memory that keeps playing in your mind over and over again, and it keeps making you feel bad, what you need to do is here in this situation, I think you need to accept your story. because you have progressed. And even today, if you're watching this transmission and you understand what's happening in this channeling, in this collective reading, God is trying to tell you that you are progressing and you have progressed to a certain level, and the way you had to progress, the steps of your destination or your journey, these were the things you had to go through. These were the people you had to meet. These were the friends or frenemies you had to make. These were the experiences that make you who you are today, good, bad, or ugly. So accept it. Maybe you're not accepting it. Maybe you're not able to digest it. Maybe you're not able to say that, yeah, I was disrespected, or I was humiliated, or I was not treated correctly or fairly, or I was poorly seen in a poor light, or in a wrong light, or this is not who I am. Whatever it is, whatever it was, it's in the past. If we don't make peace with the past, we're going to have problem in the present. And most people who are going through all of this situation is because they're constantly entangling with either an event or with a situation. My example was because we relate more and we connect more with when it's a person, when we know that okay, somebody is behind it. But it could simply be you revisiting a bad situation or a heartbreak or a betrayal over and over again. You're not appreciative of the fact that you've progressed because of this situation, because of that person, or because of that relationship, or because of that job not working out for you, because of that promotion not being given to you or given to someone else. Because of whatever you went through, it has caused you to detach. It has made you understand cause and effect much better. What do you need to change, the cause or the effect? So, yeah, you can support me on Patreon, and you can also get my book In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate. It's available only on Amazon Kindle, and the spelling of love is LUUV, not LOVE. If you want to get into personal sessions and therapy with me, check out the description box. You can book it via the PayPal link if you're not from India. If you're from India, then you have to email to me and get my booking details. So, yeah, I hope this helps. I will see you in the next one. One love, peace out, and Victor to Ram.